Early Access News. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates and live streams. Today, I want to talk about bringing awareness to domestic violence, which is something that a lot of people go through, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's you know a child, um, you know whether it's people in general. A lot of people, millions of people daily fall into um, victim of domestic violence, and I just wanna see how many people are aware of domestic violence, how many people know people that have fallen into domestic violence or possibly have faced it on you know themselves. So I know it's a very tough topic and it's a very hard topic to speak on. So, me being as honest as I am, it's definitely not easy to always talk about. But I grew up, you know, as um, as being around domestic violence. Well, first at 6 months old, I was taken away from my mom because she left me with somebody that she knew. Well, let me just go back a little bit. My mom had me when she was 15 years old. She was young, but she was definitely ahead of her time. I couldn't imagine all the sacrifices she had to make to, take care of me. You know what I'm saying? Um, but at 6 months old, she left me with somebody, and when she picked me up, I was all marked up, and she took me to the hospital. And when she took me to the hospital, because she didn't know what was wrong with me, she thought I had like an allergic reaction or something. So when she took me, they had told her that I was abused, and they thought that my mom did it when my mom didn't do it. So they came to find out it wasn't my mom, and they did find the person that did it, but they still had took me away. They took me away from 6 months old till I was 5 years old. I was in foster care. I lived with 15 different foster parents from the age of 6 months to 5 years old. And even while being in foster care, I was being abused, physically in there also. And it was. I couldn't imagine, what I was going through, because at that age you can't really remember those things. You can only remember what was told to you. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up being the oldest of six children, but being the oldest, I seen my mom, in relationships that were abusive to her. You know, emotionally, verbally, physically, and it was definitely tough. Definitely tough. So that's why I wanted to bring this type of awareness, because I'm sure that a lot of people out there, millions of people, are going through domestic violence, whether it's children being around it or being abused themselves, or it's adults in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a woman physically, emotionally, or verbally abusing a man, or a man physically, verbally, and emotionally abusing a woman. Even either way, it's wrong. It's completely wrong. I'm against it, and like I said, I had to grow up around it, so I grew up with that grudge of not wanting it around me at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially seeing what my mom had to go through growing up. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been honest and straightforward with people, especially with my subscribers, and it is important to talk about your own experience before ever touching on a topic, unless you can relate to it. Now, I'm not sure how many if you guys have ever been through domestic violence or have ever witnessed domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? But you guys could definitely talk about it if you care to share. Um, and I'm just glad that I had the opportunity to speak on it. It's not the first time. Like I said, when I first started a YouTube channel, I started off with speaking about myself because I was able to learn that a lot of people had YouTube channels, and you had other people that were attacking and disrespecting and doing all kinds of cruel things to other YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to make stuff up. So in my situation, you know, if people ever decided to come for me, then you know, I guess they would have something to run with. But I already said it, so if I already said it and it's said again, then it doesn't really matter, right? But I'm against domestic violence 100%. I don't condone it. I don't want it around me. I don't believe in a man abusing a woman or a man abusing children. And I know women do the same thing. But as a man, you got to get up and you got to keep it pushing. When it comes to a toxic relationship where even children are involved, you need to start thinking twice. You know, thinking twice about separating from that relationship or getting counseling, getting therapy, getting some type of help. Based on how much two people want to be together. But at the same time, there's children around this domestic violence, and like it doesn't have to necessarily be the parents. It could be an uncle, an aunt. Um, it could be a grandparent. It could also be a family friend. You just never know. You never know. And it's a definitely a serious situation, and I just want to bring awareness to this topic. So if you guys definitely have something to say about it and want to speak on it, you guys are definitely more than welcome to do so. I can only speak on my experience and what I've seen, and from what I've seen, a lot of children have been killed because of domestic violence abuse. Um, one story that really touched me the most was um, Gabriel Fernandez. He was from Los Angeles. He was 8 years old, and he was killed by his mother and her mother's new boyfriend. So it was definitely a very touchy and serious situation. I will call. Yeah, I mean, that's fine with me. I mean, the panel is open for anyone that wants to touch on this topic. I can only speak on my experience and what I've seen and what I've been around. I can't speak on everyone else, but it is a very serious topic, and we need to bring some type of awareness. I mean, us as YouTube creators, we can't choose topics that are just gonna entertain people. Some things just ain't entertaining. Some things need awareness. Um, Auntie B's house, she has a YouTube channel. She's gonna join us. So let me get her in. Let's see her.
In yet. Okay, there I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Auntie B. How you doing?
Hello. I'm back again. This is another subject that I can speak on personally. Um, for myself, I was a battered woman, as well as I just recently lost a niece, and
Mm.
I have lost a sister due to domestic violence. And
Oh,
I speak up on this at any chance, anytime I can, any opportunity I get, I speak on it because it is your abuse is not only verbal,
mm,
physical, it is also mental, and it does play a toll on you. Um, it's something you will never ever forget. You will never get past. You'll be leery. You'll be afraid.
mm,
Um, Key phrases that said it'll put you back in the mind of this is what happened in my past. You'll be afraid of thinking that it'll happen again. I'm in my room laying down, so I'm gonna sit up here. Um, so you'll be afraid of it happening again to you. So now the situation with me is my son's father. We were together many years, and he everything started off just fine until one day something in him just snapped. And next thing I know, I was being grabbed on my hair, and my hair, I had waist length hair at the time. At that time, he wrapped his hands in my hair, slung me to the floor, and beat me with an umbrella. I have a scar here. It may be under, but at the time it was along my jawline. And um, I left him, and he I never told my family. I never told anyone about this. And so my family didn't know. My son didn't see it. He would do things and my son would never see. And I'm coming back down to my office because my husband and my mother-in-law's upstairs. So my family never knew. I never told them. And um, I had left. I went and stayed with my sister. And all I did was say, just tell them I'm not here. Don't tell them I'm here. And she thought that we just had gotten an argument. And so when he called her checking on and trying to find me, she thought, oh yeah, she's here, but she don't want me to let you know. So he called and said his I'm sorries and it'll never happen again. And we made up. I came back home. The next time it got worse. Um, we stayed on the second floor of a duplex. He had me by my ankles, holding me upside down by my ankles, and was threatening to drop me down onto concrete. And um, he ended up bringing me back up because his cousin was there. He brought me back up, and I went and locked myself in the bathroom. And his cousin took him out of there, and I left again. Once again, um, I stayed out of fear for so long. People ask me, why did I stay? I stayed out of fear. And each time I come back, he would say it was going to be better, it was going to change. It never changed. But I
mm,
did stay out of fear. And like I said, it was my son's father. I knew my son would still have to be in contact with him. I did not. But it came to the point where, as my final straw, where I couldn't take no more of the verbal abuse, no more of the physical abuse, is when I finally broke up with him. I found a place away where he couldn't find me. One of his friends saw me and followed me and told him exactly where I lived. He came to the house and I seen who he was because he was downstairs. I wouldn't answer the door. And um, he came back on another time, but he caught me coming up to the house and I was coming in my door. So it wasn't like I couldn't say, act like I didn't live there because I had the keys. I was coming in and I let him in. He didn't fight me or anything. But at that point in time, I wouldn't let him back in my house again. And instead of him coming to do something, he sent someone else to come and rob me at gunpoint.
Oh my God.
And this was in 98. That's when it took me 3 days to pack up everything in my house. And I left. I went back to, moved back to Chicago. And I've been away from him ever since. He knows I'm back here, but he won't come and bother me anymore. I've seen him since then. He won't bother me. My son is grown now. So all of that's over and behind me. But as another story, when I was a younger girl, I want to say I was about maybe 8 years old. My sister has a son. He's a couple of years older than me. He they were in Chicago. She was dating this guy. We don't really know the details. All we know is some people called and said that a guy was beating up on my sister. Then they called back and said next thing about like maybe an hour later, called my mother and told her that he had threw my sister out of a window, out of a fifth story window, and my sister was dead. My nephew was walking down the street and she fell just about at my nephew's feet. And my mother had to go to Chicago and
Oh,
identify the body and pick up my nephew and bring him back here. And me and my nephew now have since grew up. By us being so close in age, we grew up like brother and sister. We knew we were aunt and nephew, but we were very really really close.
hmm.
And this has been I want to say about 45 years now, 46 years ago. But here, bringing it current to the recent, I have a niece. If you guys have seen on the news, it is fairly still new. July 5th, which is my birthday, I have a niece. It was my sister's daughter. My niece is 27 years old. Her name is Lanisha Columbus. Check it out in the news here in Minnesota. She was
Hmm.
sitting in the car. She was dating a guy. My niece just found out she was 5 months pregnant. She broke up with the guy. She was leaving, and the guy came up to the car and shot my niece in the back and killed her. They had to do an emergency C-section on her to um, to deliver the baby. The
Oh,
baby, my sister then named the baby after my sister. My sister's name is Liddell. She named her Liddell Lanisha. She gave my niece, great niece, her my niece's first name to her middle name. And I'm sorry, this is still just fresh on me.
I know.
Um, well, the baby just recently died, August 5th. The baby lived for a month, and the baby little girl died. Um, we had to scrape and get the money together. We didn't have the money to have a burial, but through donations, we had enough to get her cremated. And the reason why we didn't have enough money to get her buried is because we had just had a burial for my niece. And the doctors were saying that the baby would pull through, the baby would make it, but she didn't. So, um, the guy, they had arrested him, and they're saying that he got out of jail on a technicality, on a loophole. So we're thinking he's still out here on the loose. Um, and this is why I have been kind of frantic about Pam's Corner. I'm sorry, I hate to bring her up into on your platform here, but I want to bring awareness of this, of cyberbullying as well. She just made a statement within yesterday of that's what I get, that I get what I deserve. My nieces need to be dead. I should be dead. I need to be 6 feet under with crevices in my face. I have been doing nothing but getting bullied by this woman, all because of Um, she so-called want to be a psychic person. I'm not gonna knock her abilities, whether she is or she isn't. She has yet to prove herself. Um, but this is the second time that she has done this, and nobody needs this kind of treatment, especially when you're speaking of someone's family members that is so new in being deceased, and it's dealing with babies and you're wishing death on other people. I don't feel no one should have a channel and do this kind of stuff to people.
Hmm.
Um, and on top of that, I also, this is a domestic abuse case, but just here days ago, this is also in the news that I have a cousin that she was not there. The children's father was there. The baby fell in the Mississippi River and drowned. They looked for his body for 2 days. They did recover the body, and he was 7 years old. He was deceased. So
Wow.
I've been having blows back to back to back. Um, Bella, if she's on here, she knows, she can attest to that. You can also go back to the Truth's page. You can also go to my page, and it will go into details. It will show you pictures. It will show you clippings, everything. But not, you don't have to take my word for it. Go to the um, the news, the news, and you can look up pregnant woman shot and baby delivered, and also missing six. They have it as a 6 year old, missing 6 year old in the Mississippi River, Boom Island. I'm sorry, they call it Boom Island, but it's all part of the Mississippi River. All of that's all over the news, and this just happened last week. And
Wow.
the hard thing, the saddest thing about it is they weren't saying who the child was. They were just saying it was a child missing. And then the next day, I had went to sleep that night and woke up the next day. They were still looking for the body. And when they said the last name, I'm like, wait a minute, there's not too many people with that last name. Let me call my cousin. And my cousin was like, nah. And then she says, well, let me call my daughter and see. And she called her daughter, and she called me right back. And she was like, yeah, that's one of our cousins' children. And, it's just sad, when people go through things like this, and especially with the now of the coronavirus going on, you can't have funeral services. Um, People are being stuck in the same houses together, so the domestic abuse cases are rising,
Hmm.
and there's
Didn't
not
even
too many places where people can go to get help because
had.
there's not enough shelters open where they're accepting women in because of the coronavirus. um, there's not many other places where they can go to put them in the housing to be safe.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah. About
either
that.
you go to your family, or if your family, if say if you have a family up that lives in a one-bedroom apartment, here you are and you have 3 children, all of these people in a one-bedroom apartment, you're having this person put at jeopardy of being put out of their place because it's overcrowded,
Got
and
it.
then you're overcrowded and tempers flare and things happen.
Hmm. And then at the same time, there's no type of help where anybody can turn to and
Right.
seek type of help, because wherever they put them, they may be in fear of of the virus. Either the victim, they may
Mhm.
think the victim has the virus, or wherever they're gonna put them, those people
Yeah.
have the virus. I mean,
And that's where a lot of the things with domestic violence people, when they go into these places, they may not have coronavirus from being quarantined in their homes like we all are. But then when you go into a shelter like this, so many people are transitioned in that somebody may come in with the coronavirus, and then here it is, all of these people are infected. And people are coming in that have babies, have young children, have compromised immune systems.
I mean,
It's just a lot, you know,
yeah, there's,
but what can you do?
you're absolutely 100% correct. And then, as far as like even making reports on this type of situation, we get, because I'll be honest with you. I mean, like me, I'm 100% against domestic violence. Period. Right.
Me as
Um,
well.
but as we know, and you know, we have to look at both sides. Right.
Mhm.
There are people that are actually going through this every day, and then there's people, even though there are victims, but I'm just being open about it. There are people that are in a relationship that go through domestic violence, and
Mhm.
instead of leave, I mean, they'll leave and they'll come back, and I could
Mhm.
never understand me because I don't have all the answers. I could just speak on what I've experienced and what I've seen.
Mhm.
Of I've never done any of that in my life, but you know, for someone to go through domestic violence, leave, and then come back. Like I always wanted to know, why is it that people come back and involve themselves right back into that toxic relationship
Okay,
around
there's
a
a
person?
couple of answers for that. Okay. Now, one, me, was fear that if I go, he would find me and it would be done out in the street and it would be worse. Um, Two, if I came back to get my clothes, what would happen if I came back to get my stuff? Three, what would I do? How would I do this without him with my son? I was young. I was in my 20s. I was young. And then that's another thing. Your age plays a factor.
I mean, shit.
Um, and then another part of it is this: where can you go?
I mean,
A
right,
lot of
right up,
people, a lot of people have nowhere to go.
man. And then at the same time, sometimes with children. You know?
Yeah. See, it's a lot easier for a single person to just go and you can sleep couch to couch to couch.
Hmm.
But when you have children, you have to make arrangements. If a good parent will try to see to their children and make arrangements so that all of them and their children can stay together and find some place. Whereas I'm not going to say a good parent because even with that, a parent can say, "Hey, can you take my children? I'm in a situation that I need to get out of. I need you to keep my kids for right now. I'm not
Hmm.
giving them to you. I just for right now until I can come up with something." But a lot of people don't have that option. If they try to give their kids to somewhere to somebody to for right now, the people will put them in a system, and people don't want to lose their children.
Mm-mm. And that's the sad part. You know what's sad? I remember coming across a young female. I knew her like me. I'm about to be 37, but around that time,
Mhm.
I was, maybe you could say, like like probably, I think I was like 24, 25, and she was probably like 19, 20, and she had just had
Mhm.
a child, and she was involved in a relationship with an abuser, and she went to
Mhm.
seek for help from the city, because here they call it ACS. I don't, in other places they call it CPS, or like, you know,
Mhm.
child service. She went to try to get help from them and admitted to them what she was going through, and instead of them helping her, they took the child from her.
Mhm.
You know, so it's
And a
like,
lot of time, it's not even the person's fault. You know, you can't help if you're in a situation where there's domestic violence. You don't know that this is was something that's going to happen to you. If you knew, you wouldn't be in it
in
from
it.
the beginning.
Hmm. I mean, at the same time, a lot of females grow up without a father, so they don't know what it feels like to be protected. So
Have
they
a
look,
real love, yeah.
so they look for that love in another man. I mean,
And they'll
I
find it anywhere, and they'll take it any way they can. But abuse is not the way. Your first sign of verbal abuse, when he has to call you bitches, whores, tramps, sluts, any of that, you should be done with it, because next thing you know, here comes the hits. And if they hit you once, it's gonna come again. Don't let them tell you that it's gonna get better, because it's not. The only way it could get better is if he goes to a counseling. And then don't let him tell you, "Oh, you made me do this." Oh, so you're telling me I picked up your hand and struck your hand to my face, or I put your hand to my body to make you hit me? No. And just because it's words, sometimes those words can sting more than a hit.
hit, because they stick with you forever. Like bumps
Yeah,
and bruises
yeah.
can heal. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? But verbal words stick with you for you know
Forever. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It's just it's sad, and I could imagine how many young females out there even run away. Like we have a lot of young
Mhm.
females. They think they're in love for the first time in their life, and they meet a guy, and they don't know how this guy really is. Because I believe that there's two sides of a person. This is what I
Mhm.
say. I say when you first meet a person, when you get into a relationship, everything is sweet, everything is good, right? But to me, I
Mhm.
always say, you know what? If you want to see a person's true colors, just piss them off.
Or let
Piss
them
them.
be drunk.
You
A
know what I'm saying?
drunk will tell the truth.
You know what
A
I mean?
drunk speaks a sober mind.
Or do something that's gonna upset them,
Mhm.
and look at their reaction. And I feel like this. And this is my opinion. I feel like a man that doesn't respect his own mother. I don't care what female mother, aunt, cousin, whatever it is. If he doesn't respect them, what makes you think he's gonna
He's
respect
not
you?
gonna respect you. He's
If you don't
not.
respect your own mother that gave birth to you, what makes you think that he's gonna respect you? And then everything is I'm sorry. Like you're only sorry because you got caught and you know that you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. Because what are you
Yep.
sorry?
But if you were so sorry, you would say you're sorry the first time, and it would never happen again. But if you're continuously saying you're sorry, that means you're saying you're sorry because what? What are you
Hmm.
sorry for? That you didn't get it all out the first time?
Hmm.
Or you're sorry that you didn't get a chance to beat up on me? You sorry you couldn't say more? Or you're sorry you're being here? Or better yet, you're saying you're sorry because you're just a sorry ass.
Hmm. It's just like a cheater. I mean, a person that cheats would cheat
Will
on you a
always
million,
cheat.
but would only be sorry when they get caught.
Yep.
There's no I'm
Yep.
sorry. A cheater is never sorry until they get caught.
Mhm.
Plain and simple. That's why, like me, I was always told, listen, be honest and open. Let a person know what you want. If you don't want nothing serious, let them know you don't want nothing serious.
Straight out the
You,
back. I just want
yeah,
a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, a friends with benefits, anything.
you give them the ultimatum because you know how many people out there don't want a relationship. They just want to have fun, but you
And
make.
that's why people get hurt.
Hmm,
Hurt people hurt people. Now, if
hmm,
you go and play with someone's feelings, they're all in their emotions, and they're thinking you're really serious. You don't know how they're wrapped up here. You're playing with them, you're breaking their heart, you're playing with their feelings and emotions. Who say they don't come back and shoot you? That's how a lot of
hmm,
people get killed.
hmm. I mean, I've seen a lot, and
If
that
they don't
happens.
kill you, they'll kill the other person that you're messing with to make you hurt, or they'll go after your family. Anything to make you hurt. You hurt them, they're going to do anything to make you hurt.
And that's just like because to be honest with you, one thing that I've seen a lot is I've seen a lot of females that get into new females that have children from someone
Mhm.
else, get involved in a relationship with someone else, and this new person ends up mistreating and abusing these children, and they're
Yes.
not even theirs, whether they're yours or not yours. Physical abuse is not shouldn't be uh, permitted. You know,
Mhm.
especially what are you teaching a child when you're abusing them to turn around and abuse others? Because that's all they know how to do.
But just think here, not too long ago, I want to say about maybe 3 months ago, a lady was dating this guy, and they had been together for 6, 7 months, and the whole time he was raping her baby.
Oh God.
And just so happened this one last time he had sex with this baby and killed this baby. But how could the mother not know? You're changing this baby's pampers. How could you not notice blood or something? You're wiping this baby, cleaning this baby up. How could you not know and see something wrong down there? How
Unfucking
can you
believe.
not see it? See, when my son was a younger age, or even my nieces, I'm changing their pampers, I'm checking. I'm making
Check.
sure things
Damn
is
right.
right.
You're damn right.
If you got a little bump on you, what is this? If there's hair there, why is that piece of hair there? What kind of, I'm inspecting, you know what I'm saying? Is this
Mm-hmm.
human hair? Is this animal hair? What is it doing in there? Why is it there of all places?
Mm-hmm.
No hair should be inside a pamper.
I can't understand who would want to hurt an innocent child. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that's just sad. And not only that, but you know how many disabled children are getting abused because
Mhm.
there's no like you said, everyone is isolated at home. So
Mhm.
there's even disabled children that are going through situations like this that they can't even talk, from infants that can't say anything that's going
Yeah.
on to children that are disabled that can't speak for themselves, that are getting sexually abused, physically abused, verbally abused. I mean, even people in nursing homes, even the elderly, where
Yeah.
these home health aides are abusing these disabled people, and you don't catch them unless you put a surveillance camera on them, or you watch them, or you pay close attention to your relative. If not, then it just
Yeah.
goes unanswered.
Yeah. Because these people have no voice. They can't speak and tell you what's going on, and people need to be more mindful of things and take, especially people that are dealing with younger children that can't speak, and people in these facilities that can't speak. You have people that are there cleaning up. Why aren't they looking? Why don't they see this?
Unbelievable. It's
That's crazy.
it's just like the Gabrielle Fernandez case, the 8-year-old boy
Mhm.
killed. I mean, it was by the new boyfriend, and the new boyfriend was jealous and upset because the little boy didn't want his mother with this man that was abusing her. I mean,
Mhm.
look at how they were treating him. And
Isn't that the little boy they found in the backyard or something like that, wrapping something?
yeah, he was the little boy, and he was from Los Angeles, and they would he was, at first he was being raised by a relative that was homosexual, and he had a partner, and they were raising him because the mother didn't want him, so they were raising him. But then
Okay.
there came a point where the mother wanted the child back, so the
Okay.
mother took the child back. But at that time the mother had met a new guy who she was with for a year and a half, and while the child was living with them, they had him wearing dresses. They had him locked in a
Mm.
small closet. They had him eating cat litter. They had him eating his own vomit.
Mm.
They were
Mm.
shooting him with a BB gun. They were hitting him with a belt. I mean, it was just. I mean, I seen a little. I seen. There's a documentary on Netflix about it, and I could only watch.
They were just torturing that baby then.
Man, I mean, I could only watch like 10 minutes of this, and I was already breaking down over.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if it's the same one, but the CPS went to the house knocking on the door. They said the little boy went to go and live with someone else, but all along the little boy was in there dead.
When the police went in there, they, yeah,
Mhm.
because he was unresponsive. His the mother's boyfriend had called the police and said that he wasn't breathing. So the police, the dispatcher's telling him to give the child CPR, but he's not giving the child CPR because when the police showed up, they expected him to continue to give CPR. Like, you gotta continue giving CPR. You just don't give CPR and then just,
Mhm.
like, you don't call the.
And stop and walk
Yeah,
away.
that's what he
Yeah.
did. So when the police came in, they found the little boy on the floor, unresponsive. They didn't see this. They didn't see his mother's boyfriend no longer doing CPR like he said he was. So it was obvious. And then his mother, the only thing she really worried about was the cats. Are my cats okay? They didn't have
Mhm.
pity. I mean, they were sentenced. The mother's boyfriend got he was put on death row, and the mother was given life in prison. But they attacked the mother in there in prison. They were. She went in there saying she was in
Mhm.
for endangerment of child of welfare, but a correctional officer had seen her and said, "How does it feel to be a child killer?" And that's when all the other inmates had heard that, and they was like, "Oh, wait a minute! So you telling us that you in here for one
Mhm.
thing, but you killed your own son?" And then they investigate in there. You know how the inmates are. They investigate. So when they dug deep into the
Mhm.
case, they found out that she was feeding him, cat litter, his own vomit, beating him, shooting him with BB. Man, they tore her apart in prison. They tore her apart. They tore her apart, and they tore her apart two times. Like, not even an hour after they tore her apart the first time.
She's
So
lucky they didn't kill her in there
I, and then mind you, the correctional officer, he saw what was going on. The first time,
and turned his head.
they broke it up, but then the second time they saw what was going on, and he just turned his head.
Mm.
Turned his head. I mean, you can't go in there and say that you in there for one thing, not expecting for those inmates or those correctional
To
officers.
find out the truth.
Hey, he's in here
Yeah.
for rape, or he's in here for child molester, or because they lie in there, but the truth always comes out. And then, I mean, you're in population.
Mhm.
They coming for you. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I've seen in TV. I thank God I've never experienced any of that. Like, I've never had to experience with, doing prison time, jail time, any of that stuff. But from what I've seen on TV and from people that I grew up knowing, and from what they've seen, they've always told me, if there's one thing that they don't permit in prison is a woman abuser, or a child abuser, or a
And a
rapist, and
rapist. Yep.
criminal children. They do not tolerate that.
Yeah.
You know,
Any kind of crime against a woman, the elderly, or children, they
or
don't go too well in there.
Lola Love mentioned Gabrielle Fernandez story is the same as Nick's Mary Brown. You know what? I'm not sure if you heard about the Nick's Mary Brown young girl that was another case. The Child Protective Services was fully aware of what was going on, but still
Mhm.
the child is like, how many children, how many parents take care of their children, and their children are taken away, but then there's parents that are mistreating and beating and
And the
letting their
kids
child
stay.
stay. I mean, it's freaking back. And then these social workers don't even get in trouble, because the social workers that were investigating the young child Fernandez, the 8-year-old
Hmm.
boy, the one who were investigating his case, they faced a judge, but they were never charged. They were never charged.
Mm.
So everybody's getting away at the end of the day, and you can't compare a child that's killed to his parents being in prison for the rest of their life, because these people are still alive. This child is dead. It's never
Is
coming
dead
back.
and
He'll
can
never,
never have a voice, can never grow
never,
old, can never play
you
again.
know, what I'm saying? Like, that broke my heart. Like, let me tell you something. I mean, I've never been in trouble with the law or anything, but if somebody was to mess with one of mine's, what I'm saying, I think that I would
No
possibly,
questions asked.
what I'm
There's
saying.
no
I,
pass and go,
I don't
no collecting 200. There's no seeing tomorrow. There's no next breath for you.
know with your children. The thing is nowadays that a lot of parents treat their children like their friends. You're not your child's friend. You understand? You're their
Right.
parent. Because if you become their friend, I understand that you want them to trust you, you want them to be open with you, but that's a parent's job. That's not that doesn't give you the authority to
Hmm.
make your child feel like you guys are friends. You understand? Like, it just, to me, when I would speak to minds, they wouldn't know the difference. You know how you speak to your children, they know when you're cool, calm, and humble, and then they know when you're serious by the tone of your voice.
Hmm.
So they automatically know.
Hmm.
Me, like my son, I'll be like, hey Jalen, come here, and he'll know, and then I'll be like, Jalen, you know, cut it out. Like, he'll automatically never
Hmm.
had to touch him, never had to, because I believe in this. You know what? If you take away what they love, that's where it hurts. You don't have to abuse them physically in any kind of verbally in any kind of way. Just take away that PlayStation, take away that tablet,
Yeah.
take away what they love, and I bet you'll get
But
their attention.
then there are some kids you can take away those things and it wouldn't matter.
They wouldn't matter. I mean, I agree with you.
There are some kids that
Thank
need
God,
that discipline.
I thank God that it always worked for me. But you are absolutely right. There are children.
Yeah.
You know what? You took what I love, so now I'm gonna find another way to get it,
Hmm.
and they'll continue to act out. That's why I don't agree with spoiling. I agree with giving children what they need instead of what they always want. There's a big difference.
Well, my son, he got what he needed. He got what he wanted. My son was very spoiled. I'm not going to lie. He was spoiled, but he had to earn it. I'm not giving it to you because you say you want it or you think you had to have it. You had to show me that why you deserve to have it. You had to earn it.
Exactly. I agree.
Show me some good grades. Show me you know how to clean and keep your stuff clean. Show me you know how to take care of yourself. Show me you know how to take care of your property. You know, show me that you're respectful.
Hmm.
I don't want no dummies around me. I have no time for dummies.
Oh man.
Education is the key to me. Show me that you're educated. I don't need no ignorant fools.
Hmm.
I see enough of that in the street. I don't need that in my house. You're not going to be a bum in my house.
Hmm. I mean,
My
you know,
son, I taught my son to do everything that a woman can do except have babies.
hey, hey, you are not lying. You know what? My mom was the same way. My mom was at 50, at 14, 15. So I grew up the oldest of six kids. So my mom always told me, whatever you do, like, you're a role model to them. So whatever you
Hmm.
do, they want to do. So if I allow you to do what you want to do, then it gives them the opportunity to want to do it too. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was very strict. Like, nowadays,
Hmm.
we our children and stuff, but back then you could get your butt whipped real quick. They didn't really care about no CPS or none of
Oh
that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If your mom was a hardworking mom, gave you everything
But
you
see,
want,
back then, those were the times.
back then you get that you get that buck real quick and go call whoever you want to call. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And you
yeah.
know what? If you know these parents used to say
Whether it be you get it with a shoe, your mama get that shoe with the boomerang action.
exactly,
You catch that shoe.
exactly. So I remember my mom used to say, you know what? If they could do a better job than me, then let them have you.
They can have you.
You know what I'm saying?
And
But we
if
used to
you
be like,
feel you that grown, you can't listen to me in my house and do what I say with my rules. You they go to door, go ahead and use it. Let them take you. But
mm,
you gonna take this while you going out the door.
I
Mhm.
agree. Like my mom, she never drunk, she never smoked, she never had any habits, never. Her dedication was the household, us as her children, and you know, discipline. Because when you grow up without a parent and you become a parent, it's a little different. You know, I believe it's a little
Mhm.
because nobody taught you how to be a parent. That's something that you had to learn on your own. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And a lot of us didn't grow up with our dads. Like I really didn't have my dad, but my mom was my dad. You know what I'm saying? I used to wonder why she was so
Mhm.
hard on me. But we don't understand things when we young until we get older. And my mom,
Yeah.
like, when you have yours, you'll understand. Like I have an 18-year-old son, and
Mhm.
18, already grown. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I didn't have my dad, and I always try to be the best dad to him. But no matter how good of a parent you try to be, you know, these kids, they're gonna always find a way to make mistakes. And
Mhm.
you know, our job is to try to
But
guide them.
kids,
You know what I'm saying?
but when you have children, children are not born with instructions. It's a trial and error on everything you do. See, my son is your age,
Mm.
and you go through. I lost my mother when I was 18 years old.
Oh,
Um, I lost my father when I was 8. So I was young. I was a young mother as well. I was 18. I had my son when I was 18. And you do things on trial and error in raising them, your children, off of the way you were raised. So if there
mm,
were mistakes made in your life by your parent, um, you sometimes some people will try to do better than what their parents did, but if you were in a abusive family, that trait will carry over and you will abuse your children
mm,
unless you said, hey, I want to go through this. I don't want my child to go through the life that I went through with my parent, and then you try to change it. But
mm.
some people still carry over what they went through in their childhood of what they were taught from their parents, and they will do it to the same to their children.
And yeah, it's just it's a cycle. You know, it's a cycle that
Mhm.
repeats itself. You know, and that's another thing. Like you mentioned, I've heard that a lot. Where there's been females that have said, you know, hey, you know, he grew up in around abusive environment, so that's why he's done such and such to me. And I mean, when you're old enough to
Mhm.
understand what you're doing, it's a whole total different story. You understand if you gone through it,
Mhm.
then I feel like maybe you should have learned something from it. You understand? You're not supposed to hurt somebody
Mhm.
you love, right? And love is not supposed to hurt. So I could just never understand the
Mhm.
mistreatment and the abuse towards somebody that that really loves you or that you love and is there for you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people even blame it on
Mhm.
drug habits, but at the same time,
Mhm.
a lot of people stay in that relationship, and it's like you said, you know, they're scared, they don't have anywhere to go, and I've heard of that also. One thing that I've heard of, they've never
And
had.
you know, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
A lot of times you go through that, you lose self-esteem. You have you feel your self-worth is down. You feel like a failure.
Mm,
And you are torn down so bad that you don't know, and then you start going through depression.
Hmm.
It's just you have that uncertainty on life, and you feel like, you have nothing, you've done all of this and everything is all bad for you. Sometimes people will commit suicide after that.
Hmm.
So going through all those things can bring about a whole lot of changes in your life, whether it be good or bad. But it's something that, you know, if you're not a strong person, you will need to get help.
And a lot of women keep that to themselves. I mean, a lot of women have family members, but at the same time they say, if I turn to my family members, or they're crazy, they'll come and they'll hurt this person, and they don't. I mean, it's a crazy situation, and insecurity plays a big role. Insecurity.
Hmm.
It's a lot of women that are involved in a domestic violence relationship, but at the same time they're insecure about themselves. Like, if I leave this person, nobody else is gonna want me. Because I'm this,
Yeah.
I'm that. I look like this, I look like that, and I believe that God made us in His own image, and beauty comes from within. But you have men that know how to break these women down mentally. And
Because in my situation, like I was saying, I I couldn't even date nobody else in the part of time where I was, because my son's father was so the guy was even afraid to even talk to me. So if I wanted somebody else, I wouldn't be able to out there in that part of town. No.
you kind of breaking up.
Okay. In the part of town I lived, my husband, my father was born a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if
I,
I was to try to date someone else,
okay.
he knew a lot of people and people talk to me. I think he keeps
Yeah, I don't know what happened. There was lagging. Let me try to get this to work again. Yes, that was Ani B's house. She also has a YouTube channel. Um, See if we could get her back up here. But domestic violence is a very, very serious issue. It's a very serious matter. I'm not sure how many of you guys have ever experienced domestic violence or know somebody that's ever been through domestic violence or are going through domestic violence. And we definitely need to bring some type of awareness on that, because a lot of people are not speaking on that. And at the same time, there are a lot of children that may be involved in the situation, that are around it constantly, just like there's parents that are mistreating their own children, or there's women that get with these, whether it's the father of the children or these new boyfriends that they get involved with, that mistreat these children. I mean, domestic violence needs to stop completely. And right now with this pandemic, um, over 10 million victims per day are going through domestic violence. 2 million are either committing suicide or attempting to commit suicide each and every day. And mind you, with no help. I mean, where are they gonna go? Where are they gonna go? There's nowhere to go. A lot of victims are scared to reach out to their family members because they don't want to lose their children, or a lot of people are in fear that the police might get involved. Let's get Arnie B house back in.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, it was kind of lagging. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but this domestic abuse is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not just women, men go through it as well. Because there have been women that has been abusive to the men. Abuse in any way. Get help, get that person arrested, do what you gotta do, but get away from them.
Hmm.
It's okay to be by yourself.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
was by yourself before you met them. You was okay before you met them. Get away from them. Don't take it. It's not worth it. Your life means so much more. Life is too precious.
than to risk it for someone and lose it in the hands of someone.
hmm I don't know every one of you. It's a few of you that's on here that I do know. Maybe I don't know who's all in here, but if no one has told you, I will tell you I love you. Your life means something to me. You are precious to me, each and every one of you. Please don't take it. Get out.
Hmm. I'm sure we everyone on here is listening and been paying close attention, and I'm sure everyone has gotten some, at least if not all, but something out of everything that we've been talking about. And it's our job, like I said before, us as YouTube creators to touch on topics like this, to bring some type of awareness somehow.
And I
Yeah,
hope I do touch somebody. If you guys could see my face, you could feel my pain.
I don't know what happened there.
And it's not that I'm trying to prevent another woman, another man, a child, anybody from going through. Please get out. Don't take it. Don't take it. You don't have to. Your life is precious. You are somebody. You are worth more. Your life has meaning. Your life has purpose. If you didn't have purpose or you didn't have a meaning for being here, the Most High would not have you here in the first place. So please do not take this as a grain of salt. Or from the abuser. Stand your ground. Stand firm.
Hmm.
Have faith in yourself. You can do it.
I don't know what's going on. It keeps breaking up.
Yeah.
Because a problem occurred. Something is going on. It's not
If you had weather anywhere near you in your
I don't know what's going on. It's like literally acting up. So I'm trying my best to fix it. It's like I don't know what happened there. I mean, it's everything that Ani B is saying is something that a lot of people need to really pay close attention to. And like I said, I'm sure that you guys either know somebody that's gone through it, or possibly you guys went through it. But we have to try to do everything that we can to help those in that situation. Especially when there's children involved. And right now with this pandemic, it's like I'm in the chat. I don't see you. It's not showing me. You probably got to touch the link again. Let me see if I can. It's not allowing me to. I'm putting the link again because I don't see it. It lets me know when there's a guest. I don't see it. But everything that Ani B said, yeah, it had booted me out as well. And then it says this web page was reloaded because of a problem occurred. So I don't know what that means. Let's try this again.
Okay, it kept booting me out. I would call again on
Yeah,
the link and it would kick me out.
it was kicking both of us out at the same time. I didn't know what was going on. I had to.
Yeah,
That's what happens when you touch on a serious
it's
topic, huh?
freezing up now. They said, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you
YouTube don't want to speak on things. They want you out of there.
oh, you know how many, oh my Lord, God knows
Yeah,
how many times that has happened to me. Every time that there's some type of awareness being brought out, or there's a serious topic. I bet you if we was talking about nonsense, we wouldn't
it was
lag.
stayed perfectly clear.
We would probably have like 100 people on the chat right now. But you know how many people probably didn't get the notification? They'll probably get it once we upload this. So it
Yeah,
happens, right? But I am very, very appreciative and grateful that we was able to touch on this topic, and I'm also grateful that you came on and you was able to speak on your experience. I was able to speak on my experience, and I'm sure that everybody that was watching and listening, either they've gone through it or know somebody that's going through it and possibly learned something. And we got to continue to pray for people that are in that situation. And
yes,
said, don't be afraid. Love is not supposed to hurt, right? But I do want to end this live. But
you're right.
is there is there any last piece of advice that you would want to give everyone that's watching right now before we, as far as domestic violence, before we end this live?
Yes. I want to say this that have the strength and the courage and be prayerful and don't let anybody feel that you're less than great. You're all great in your own way. Stand in your greatness. Don't let anybody put you down. Don't let anybody let you feel like you're worthless. You are worth more than life itself. The Most High gave you life. Live it to the fullest.
Hmm.
Tomorrow's not guaranteed, and it's most definitely not promised to nobody. Love on your children, love on your family. But first of all, before you can love anyone else, love yourself. Love yourself.
Hmm.
And
You're absolutely right
just
about that.
know that you are loved. Just know that you are loved by someone. I love you. From my heart, I do. Um, if I can touch just one somebody that is out here listening, even if you don't want to speak up, if you don't want to hit that bell to say that you're on the channel, if you don't hit like, subscribe, anything, if what I'm saying to you resonates with you, please get out. Get out of that abusive relationship. Get if you have children, get your children safe, because domestic abuse does not go away unless you get out.
Hmm. I
And
agree.
before you get in a situation where you have to fight for your life, know this: you need yourself, your children need you, the outside needs you, you have family that need you more than a jail. In the jail, you're just another number.
Hmm.
But outside, you're a person, you're somebody.
It makes a
And I
lot.
want to thank everybody for listening to me. And again, and I'll be praying as I always do.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ani B. You know, I really do appreciate you coming on and speaking on this topic. I
You're
know
so welcome.
it's serious, and you know, you spoke a lot about your
I've got two in one day.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you
I got two in one day.
might have to open up a podcast one day. You know what I'm saying? But it was a very serious topic, you know, and I'm sure that people got
Yes.
something out of it.
Something that needed to be fun.
Yeah, and they got to hear something about your experience, something about
Yeah.
my experience, so they see that even though we're YouTube creators, we've gone through the things that we are able. If we wouldn't have gone through the things we've gone through, we wouldn't be able to speak on it or give anybody any type of advice. And that's what makes us so different. A lot of YouTubers,
And just like that.
huh?
What's going on? I said we are everyday people and live everyday lives just like everybody else do.
I mean, we just have the courage to speak on the things we've been through, and that's
Hmm.
gonna help people out there that are going through the same situation. You know what I'm saying? Um, let me see what happened here. What did happen? It just keeps booting us out. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You can hear us?
Well, okay, I'm gonna go off now so you can have your final words. And thank you again for having me on. Thank you everybody for listening and joining in on this channel podcast here. Just want to thank you.
No, absolutely. And I want everyone to take the opportunity to subscribe to Arnie B's House YouTube channel. You know, you guys got to see her twice today, so I'm very grateful for that. And you guys can see that she's very wise,
And I'm very honored to be here.
and so am I. You know what I'm saying? And she's very inspirational. So make sure you guys tune into
I'm very honored and humbled.
her YouTube channel. They'll definitely see us again together. You know what I'm saying? For sure. We'll definitely work on something else. But
Yeah.
I hope that everybody has a good evening. God bless each and every one of y'all. Again, me and Ani B definitely thank you guys and definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. And again, this is a very serious topic, and not a lot of people have the courage to speak on it. I opened up the panel with speaking about my experience and what I've been through, what I've seen. And Arnie B was able to speak on her experience and what she's been through. And it takes a lot, like I said, us as YouTube creators, us that have a passion for this, we take it very serious. There's a lot of other people that, yeah, they have a channel, but there's really no meaning to it. I mean, if you're not doing something that you have a passion for, if you're not doing something that's gonna be beneficial and impact someone else's life, then I strongly believe it's a waste of time, in my opinion. So I'm glad that I was able to come across um Ani B's house channel, and as you guys can see, she's amazing. You were able to speak on our life experience, and you guys will definitely see us again. What I'm saying, on another topic. Um, and like I said before, I want to be able to open up this panel for YouTube creators and also subscribers that have been subscribed to the channel. What I'm saying, and I just want to bring people together. No drama, no conflict, just real life situations. Something that's gonna help people that are watching and tuned in. Something that's gonna bring you guys a peace of mind, and also something that's very real. Not something that's just something to play up, but something very real. There's a million other channels that people could tune into if they just want to follow negativity and drain their minds with something that's not helpful to them. But as long as we're on this panel, everything is going to be positive. As long as you see the YouTube creators that join this panel, you guys are always welcome to join and subscribe to their channel, because I only want to bring the right people up here. If it's not if it's not going to be inspirational, something serious, then I don't want to deal with it. Now, we will have, people that want to come up here and voice their opinion. And maybe it's not always going to be what we expect, but everybody has a voice. Everybody has a voice. And that was the whole point of me ever having a YouTube channel, is being open about myself and my experience, and also allowing other people to feel comfortable with opening up about themselves and forming together. You know what I'm saying? So God bless each and every one of y'all. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in to the live stream panel. Again, you know, me and Arnie B house. Definitely appreciate you guys. And until next time, God bless y'all and y'all family. Stay safe, stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused. This COVID is very serious, so make sure you keep 6 feet different distance. Be careful who you surround yourself by. Wear your mask. Keep your eyes and your ears open. God bless each and every one of y'all. This is All Media Access News. Put up the banner. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button. Share. In order for the word to get out there, and in order for people that are dealing with domestic violence come across this live stream panel, gonna need y'all to share it. Whether it's on your social media or share it the best way possible, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, Twitter, whatever social media you have. It would be really gladly appreciated to share the lives. God bless each and every one of y'all. This is All Media Access News. If you haven't subscribed, make sure y'all subscribe. As always, if any of you guys do want to come up to the panel and you guys want to reach me directly, um, I'll put up my, let me see, I'll be able to put up my email real quick. Uh, 3, 6, Come on. So if anyone wants to do a panel with me, um, If anybody has a topic that they want to speak on, or if you guys want to schedule a date and a time to do a live stream panel with me on here, then you guys could reach me at my email and we could definitely schedule something. So far, I have a few things coming up. Different YouTube creators will definitely be tuning in, and I'll be doing a live stream panel. But I could schedule something, and we could definitely make it happen. And I'm also willing to let you guys pick the topic, whether you're a YouTube creator or a subscriber. I'm allowing you guys to pick the topic. If you don't have a topic, then I'll choose one, I'll pick one, and then we can take it from there. But God bless each and every one of y'all again. I appreciate y'all. Again, if y'all know somebody going through domestic violence, don't turn your back on them. Hear them out. Try to help them the best way possible. Um, Most importantly, pray for them. Pray for them. We shouldn't only pray for people that we know and we love. We should pray for the whole entire world, even for the people that we don't know. Because at the end of the day, we were all made equal. We were all made in God's image. You know what I'm saying? And we're all gonna go to the same place one day. Same place. I mean, when I mean same place, 6 feet under. I don't get to choose whether who goes to heaven or hell, but I do believe that we get to make that decision based on how we live here in our lives. And if you have any hate in your heart, you have to try to do your best to eliminate that hate. Um, Even though that's tough to do, but in order for God to handle things that you can't handle, you're gonna have to forgive. Forgive is something that a lot of people find hard to do, but one day we gotta go, and we don't want to go with hate in our heart. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to go with hate in our heart. Me personally, I love everybody. Um, I pray for everybody. I care about people that I don't even know. I know what it is to be in the toughest situations in the world. I know what it is to try to figure out how to get out of those situations. As we speak, I'm in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is never promised for me. Um, I'm just open and honest enough to let you guys know the real me and who I really am as a person, besides a YouTube creator. And let you guys know that I'm just like each and every one of y'all. I'm just trying to make a difference and bring awareness and bring a peace of mind to people. You know what I'm saying? That are tuning in. So again, God bless each and every one of y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Um, you never know where the Most High leads you, but you just follow where He leads. Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that. Um, I appreciate y'all. God bless y'all. I love y'all, even though I may not know y'all personally. I'll make sure that I pray, of course, like I do every single day, because tomorrow's never promised. We don't know if we're gonna see tomorrow. We don't know if we're gonna wake up tomorrow. A lot of people plan for tomorrow, but you still trying to get by the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough world. It's a cold world. Um, you know, Learn to love yourself before you can love anybody else. You know, and don't trust too many people as far as you could throw 'em. You know what I mean? God bless each and every one of y'all. This is All Media Access News. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates and live streams. Um, Definitely share. Definitely subscribe. I appreciate y'all. And you know, if you guys want to join my panel tomorrow, make sure you you know email me or leave a comment on this live once it's uploaded. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. This is all Media Access News. Good night. Until next time. Peace.